All right, thank you so much, and welcome back to class. So I needed to put up the YouTube link in case of those who might have challenges joining us from here. So we are going straight to our class for this morning. Yesterday we started with business development. So please, can we have someone summarize for us what we did yesterday? Can we have someone summarize for us in 1 minute or less? Can we have someone summarize what we did yesterday so that we can continue with the class of today? Can we have someone summarize what we did yesterday? Can someone help us summarize? If your hand is up, then I will unmute you. We just do that by a raise of hand. Can someone quickly help us summarize what we did yesterday? Who is there with me? Please kindly confirm that you can hear me loud and clear. If you can hear me loud and clear without any interference, please kindly type 1 in the chat room. If you can hear me loud and clear without any interference, please kindly type 1 in the chat room. Okay, so thank you. Okay, so quickly, can we have a recap? Can someone help summarize? Or if the summary is too much for you, now in one sentence, one simple sentence, can someone tell us what did you take home yesterday in yesterday's class? What was your take home? What was the take home in yesterday's class? You can just raise your hand, we'll mute you, and then you tell us, we'll go ahead. Okay, so we have a hand up from Maxwell. Please, Mr. Maxwell, kindly unmute and let's hear from you.
Yeah, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, yesterday we actually learned a couple of things that were helpful. Yesterday we talked about the overview of business development consulting. Talked about the levels of consulting, you know. One of the things I took home that I cannot easily forget is that it is the high volume of customers you have and the turnover that makes you profitable and not the high pricing. So you also told us that we should consider the solution with the highest positive impact and the least cost. Okay, we also went further to engage us on what a successful business developer should know and should do. You told us that it is important as business development consultants that we should know a lot about project management. We should know a lot about data analytics, know a lot about business intelligence and emotional intelligence. You know, so, and you also made us understand that just analyzing the data does not mean data interpretation. You taught us root cause analysis, something that shows, you know, so that you are impact and sustainability driven and not just that you are profitability driven. What else can I remember? You also made us understand the area of niche consulting, which is going into the specialty area Some people can go into product consulting, some people are going to business development and marketing and all that. These are different areas. And when you are dealing with those specific areas, you're actually dealing with niche consulting. And then you also told us that every solution has a threshold. Once you get there, every solution you provide now in business development, there is a limit. And we shouldn't allow our clients to see us, to see the limit, to our limit, to our threshold. What it means is that we must be continuously innovative, we must be inventing, we must be creative at all times, because business development is about creating and recreating, it's about modeling and remodeling. It's a 21st century issue, so we must always be adding something so that customers cannot come. If we also made us understand that even when what we are adding is not even far better than the previous thing, but we should add, we should let things, we should change things so that our customers will know that we are continuously innovating and thinking about them, because you made us understand that customers are always thirsty. So we must imagine more and we must create more. You taught us about corporate governance. You told us the relationship between corporate governance and business development and how interwoven they are. And then business developers' job is to play decision-making roles in driving sales and not just driving the sales, and not just doing the sales literally, but making the decision that leads to driving sales positively. These are the few things I think I remember from yesterday's interaction. Thank you very much.
Yes, Mr. Maxwell. This is more than a recap. You have taught business development afresh. So if there was anyone that was not in class yesterday, I trust with this morning digest, you have covered everything we dealt with yesterday. Thank you so much for paying rapt attention, and thank you so much for replicating it the way we had it yesterday. Thank you so much. We sincerely appreciate that. Okay. From the chat room, someone says we also talked about problem solving in the following steps: defining the problem, defining the root cause of the problem, developing alternative solutions, selecting the solution, implementing the solution, and evaluating outcome. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Pius. Okay, so now that we've reviewed what we did yesterday, I think it's high time we proceed. Our time today will be, we still have a lot to cover, but time is always warning us. Okay, so let's quickly look at the skills domain for business development executives. The skills domain for business executives. The skills domain for business executives. So by the end of the session, we'll be discussing, we'll be able to discuss contemporary business development executive skills. So quickly, let's look at what it is. So this is more of a summary of all of the domains of skills that contemporary business developer should have. By introduction, business developers evaluate a business current performance and look for ways that it can improve. They often work as coaches or consultants. Business developers identify opportunities while carefully building and maintaining long-term relationships with business partners and their affiliates. To be an effective business developer, demand blend of skills. It demands full blend of skills. So let's quickly look at these skills. The first in the domains we look at is the communication skills domain. And to us in business development, communication is the primary driving force or the primary driving force for an effective business development engagement. So for us to For us to be good business developers, we must be excellent and practical in our communications. And when we talk about the communication domain, the skills that apply there talks about the collaboration skills, ability to talk people into being your team members, ability to talk people to partnering with you to delivering the result that you want to get. So that is one. The second one is the oral communication, spoken communication. So we also must be very, very good in spoken communication. I would like to say something, especially for those of us that are planning to come into consulting. You must be deliberate on your oral communication. You must learn how to train yourself orally in communication. There are interferences that affect oral communication, and you shouldn't allow such to affect you in your own communication. So things like dictions, things like dialects, and some of those interferences in communication, you must deal with them. Okay, standard English or standard language in your own area, your own country, or what have you now, should be devoid of interferences that could affect the communication itself. So we need to be careful with that. Like I said, we need to be deliberate on building ourselves orally. Okay, if it means recording yourself and listening to yourself, recording yourself and asking others to listen, and then try to give you feedback on how you sound when you communicate. Okay, that is very, very important. You could also practice reading. Okay, practice recording a readout. So you could have tests, and then you try reading it out. Okay, when you read it out, remember, in oral communication, you are also trying to persuade, you are trying to convince, you're trying to manipulate, okay, you're trying to influence. Now, when you take a story and you're reading it out, check in that story, check your pitch, check your tone, check your dialects, check communication interferences, oral communication interferences, and ask yourself that simple question, that if you were to be the one listening to yourself, would you have given yourself the attention? Okay, because it is important we get this right. Now, I need you to pay attention to what I'm going to say now. As business developers, one of the things we want to achieve, that's the primary thing we want to achieve with all we are doing, is to secure attention, So I need you to do something for me. In the chat room, I want you to type attention in capital letters. Just type attention in capital letters. So principally, that's what you just want to get. So when you are communicating orally, the question is, does your tone command attention? Does your voice command attention? Does your dictions command attention? Does your pronunciations command attention? You need to be deliberate on building these things. Whether you are in Nigeria, we have basically Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba. Now, whether you're Igbo, whether you're Hausa, whether you're Yoruba, don't ever allow people to identify you based on where you're coming from. You say he speaks like an Igbo man, he speaks like a Yoruba man. Don't allow people to use your oral communication to dictate your background. Don't allow people to use your oral communication to dictate your background. That could be a disqualifying criteria in other backgrounds. So let's be deliberate and let's be conscious on building ourselves orally. Now, the next thing I will talk about is the written communication. The written communication is very key. We need to learn to be clear, concise, purposeful in our communications, in our written communications. Now, part of the written communications we have boils down to things like memos, proposals, plans, concept notes, and all of that. Now, the way you put up your communication by written is very, very important. It's very, very important. We know that grammatically, there are things that are allowed. Now, grammatically also, there are things that are allowed, but we don't know that they are allowed. All right? So take, for instance, you're writing to someone's office. Let's say you are writing to the office of the managing director of a particular company, and the office of the managing director comes in between lines in your sentence. It is expected that you honor that office by making it a sentence case wording. So what do I mean? So let's say you are writing to, this is a case study for the office of, so that office you put O in capital letter, office of the managing, you put M in capital letter, director, you put it in capital letter. So you take cognizance of those things. As simple as those things are, they could be disqualifying criteria if not taken into consideration. If it means where you need to put those things and still capitalize, bolding them, then make sure you bolding them. Know when to use capital letters, know when to use bolding, know when to use italics, know when to use hyphens, know when to use semicolons and colons. Very, very important. Very, very important. So we need to be quite deliberate on managing our written communication as well. Then the next thing there is the public speaking. Whether you want it or not, as a business developer, you are the number one person an investor will possibly see when it comes to your organization. Even when they go to the MD or go to the director of the organization, they will possibly push those people to you. When there are new customers coming, they will push them to the business developers. So whether you want to be a public speaker or not, it doesn't matter. The thing that matters is that public speaking is a basic requirement for your operation as a business developer. You're going to the market to discuss, you're going to investors to negotiate, you're going to partners to talk about alliances and networks. So you need public speaking skills, all right? Then another one we'll also talk about is emotional intelligence. Very, very important. Very, 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 very important. By October 4th to 6th, we'll be having emotional intelligence course. So you can also feel free to join us. Emotional intelligence is a broad course. So the only thing I can say here is that you just need to have emotional intelligence. Then you also talk about brainstorming, problem solving. Quick problem solving should be part of what you do. Then active listening. Then another point to this is the assertiveness. Assertiveness is being sure of what you're saying and saying it with all boldness. So if you want to talk about your product, you don't go saying you mean as in just like, don't go using words that will bring down your opportunity to sell your business idea, to sell your product, to sell your initiative to your new market. So we need to be very, very careful with what we say. And also reduce, there is what we call mannerism. Mannerism. When you are discussing, when you're making your presentations, try to reduce mannerism. Mannerism. Okay, mannerism, things like putting your hands in your pocket when you are speaking to people, repeating a word over and over again. Okay, some people may have to do, some people are used to turning their necks in ways that become uncomfortable to the people listening to them. So some of those mannerisms can reduce your assertiveness potency. So we need to deal with them. Okay, then another one is discernment. When people are talking to you, look beyond the words, look beyond what they are saying and try to find the real intention of what they want to say. So these are part of the things we see in communication. Part of public speaking also is your ability to make presentations, all right? And part of your written communication is ability to develop presentations, all right? Okay. The next domain is the negotiation domain. Brian Tracy will always say that everything is negotiable. Everything is negotiable, okay? Everything is negotiable. So you must pay attention to being the best negotiator as a business developer. You must learn to be a good negotiator. And one of the ways to be a good negotiator is finding a common cause that both you and the parties involved can agree on. And then also trying to be tactful, use sense of humor and honor, both humor and honor in your discussions. My mentor once told me something. He said, one of the best ways to negotiate with people is to, first of all, get to them emotionally, emotional intelligence, before you start negotiating any deal. First of all, negotiate yourself into their minds, negotiate yourself into their hearts, create impressions that will make you likable. Create impressions, sell yourself first before you sell your product. Talk about or give talks, give impressions that will make you likable before you talk about your product. All right. So one of the basic ways to talk about negotiation, or one of the things to deal with in negotiation, is when you see people for the first time, try to appreciate them. Find something to appreciate. Appreciate their watch, appreciate the color of their shirt, appreciate the shirt generally, appreciate their dressing generally, appreciate their shoe. You might not need to appreciate everything. Just find something that will get you to the person first. Okay. Now, if the person is someone that maybe you people pass through the self school, you can find common grounds to initiate discussion. Then you come to what brought you to the table. But by all means, create room for openness in that negotiation. All right. So some of the things we also need here, we need collaboration, we need persuasion. Please, there's a difference between persuasion and assertiveness. Assertiveness is making bold statements about your product or services. Persuasion is, by all means, convincing the person to buy the product. Do you get what I say? Assertiveness is making bold statements about your product, about your services, about your skills, about what you can do, and all of that. Persuasion is employing strategies that will convince the person to test the product. So, for instance, if we come to you and say business development cost is 100,000 naira, someone will ask questions of what is this business development all about? So we could tell you business development is a contemporary skill and certification in the new era, and it will give you the opportunity to develop businesses that can thrive in this era. And if you have businesses that are already in turbulence, it will help you fix it. Now, in the era of employment, it gives you the opportunity to become the number one option when you go for careers and all of that. Now, those are assertive statements. But the question is, at the end of the day, you want this person to bring in 100,000. So how do you get the person to bring in 100,000? You can then ask the person, okay, would you want to try the course first and then decide if that's what you want or not? Now you are persuading the person. You are causing the person to salivate. You're putting fire to the person's hunger, or you're generating the hunger in the person. Now listen, when people begin to feel like there is no risk, negative risk attributable to me in this thing I'm stepping into, they are possibly going to try. So find a way to reverse risks that would have hindered people from experiencing your products or services. Find a way to reverse the risks. What I mean by reversing the risk is that the risk does not go directly to the person. The risk could still be borne by you being the owner of the product, but at the end of the day, you're persuading the person to have a bite of your product or the service. And you could see that literally in everything we do. When you go to, for those of us in Nigeria, when you get to someone selling suya, what is the first thing he's practically going to do? Some of them, the first thing they will do, whether you're buying or you're not buying, as soon as you're coming to their stand, they will cut a piece of the suya, dip it inside the mixture of pepper and other ingredients, and give you to taste. By the time you know it, you are buying more than what you propose. That's if the suya is nice. Now, why is the suya maker doing it that way? Because he's convinced that his suya is the best. So you need to have a taste of it. And by tasting it, you can decide whether you will buy or not. Okay. And there is something about tasting. When you taste, you're already in debt. When you taste, you're already in debt, whether you like it or not. So it's either you buy the day you tested or you buy another day. That's if the product is what you needed. Did you get what I just said now? If the product is what it, whether you have the money to pay for it then or not, you already, one day. When you need that product, you know where to get it. Do you get it? So persuasion must be deliberate. Persuasion must be aligned with the company's key performance indicators. All right, and then let me also tell you, persuasion should be strategic. Persuasion should be strategic. Please, can someone help me type in the chat room? Strategic. Just type strategic. Persuasion should be strategic. And I will explain that in a moment. Persuasion should be strategic. Just type that in the chat room. Persuasion should be strategic. Okay, persuasion should be strategic. And what we mean by being strategic, when you meet a customer, a potential customer, it's not compulsory that he must buy then. That is what we call lifetime value. Customer, if you do courses in customer relations, there's what we call customer lifetime value. Customer lifetime value. The customer value graduates. It graduates. So maybe you persuaded the person, he tasted. Already there is a value attached to that customer by testing that product. One day he will say, let him just buy a little. So maybe he bought one of 500. And then he found out that this is really nice. Now remember that by that persuasion, that initial persuasion, that is not the last one you do. You will still continue your persuasion through effective relationship building. That's why I now say it has to be strategic. Any customer that decides to test your product is willing to take a relationship opportunity with you. So whether he's buying now or not, you mustn't in any way say this customer is an ungrateful person. I gave him, he tested and did not buy. You're just, by doing that, you're destroying the relationship already because your heart will be off that customer. But what you do is that you gave the customer, he tested, and then what you now need to do is start the engagement of relationship building. Start what? The engagement of relationship building. Start the engagement of relationship building. There are customers that based on the value they carry, you are ready to invest more in them. Because when the return on investment start coming, you will not remember how much invested. Did you remember? Do you get what I said now? There are customers that potential customers that when you see them, the persuasion strategy that you may use may cost you some little investment. But when the returns start coming, you will not remember the investments you've made. Do you get that? So we need to pay attention on this issue of persuasion. Okay, we need to pay attention on this issue of persuasion. All right. The next thing there is the issue of compassion. All right. Just like Mr. Maxwell helped to remind us this morning. Yesterday we spoke about finding ways to reduce pressure on your customer. All right. It's not high price that will give you high profit. Okay. it is the compassion you have on customers that will help you find alternative solutions to satisfying their need at the most cost-effective rates that will not provide pressure or stress on them. So you must be compassionate. Question you ask yourself before you even start developing a product: if I were to be the one on this product, will I buy it? Will I use it? If I were to be the one, how much will be my most convenient price? Now, if you find out the how much, which features do I think will be my most important features? Now, for the ones that are not important, if I remove them for now and put up the most important features, the most important benefits, how much can I still go for it? These are compassionate questions that by the time you keep asking and asking and asking, a product that is once worth 50,000 as cost of production, by the time you follow it compassionately, it might end up being a product of 5,000. Yes, and somebody may buy it. I would like to recommend a book to us. That book is called Executing Strategy. Executing Strategy by Mo Levitt, M-O-O-R-E, Levitt, L-E-V-I-T-T. Executing Strategy by Mo Levitt. In case you have some challenges on trying to find best strategies to introduce your products to the market and all of that, we'll talk about them here, but I will need you to go and read that book. Okay, Executing Strategies, how to break it down and get it done, by Mo Levitt. It covers virtually every aspect of business development and gives you practical case studies. Okay, practical case studies on how you can introduce your business and expand your business, right? So please, I will recommend we get that book and then read it for your own good. So we need to be compassionate in all of what we do. So I've been seeing this hand up, Mr. Bash. Please, if you have a question, kindly put it in the chat room. I will take it up from there. Mr. Bash, your hand has been up. So please, you can put your question in the chat room. Okay. So also by being compassionate, we now look at sustainability factors. What is the impact of your business to the environment? Socio-culturally, what's the impact of your business? And then you'd also look at how do you, with all of the profit that will come, how will you return part of it for environmental sustainability, for societal development, and all of that. So these are all part of compassionate ways of negotiation, okay? Creating deals that can help. Another aspect of negotiation also is active listening, then problem sensitivity. Like I said, when people are talking to you, most often what they say is not what they mean. You need to find out what they mean by paying active attention to what they are saying. From that, you can pinpoint what their problem is. Okay, so for instance, most of when you talk to people about training, okay, some people tell you, my company, we don't have need for training, no, we don't do this, we don't do that, we don't do this. Meanwhile, when you tell them, okay, can you come and take this training for free? They will be the first to come to take the training for free, but they will tell you we don't need training. Sometimes their problem is that maybe they don't really understand what it's all about. Sometimes maybe they don't have all the resources. Okay, so if you want to focus only on what they are telling you without being sensitive to what the primary cause is, the root cause is, you might just be out of business. So we must pay attention to problem sensitivity. Another aspect of negotiation also is discernment. Then we have the strategic skills. We'll just run through them. We have the analytical skills. We talked about data analytics. We talked about critical thinking skills and all of that. So you have analytical skills, whether you're doing the analysis by digitally or you're doing it manually with your brain, we must learn to be analytical in the things we do. Then adaptability, okay? Adaptability and resilience has a way of going hand in hand. So we must structure our businesses to be adaptable, no matter what the situation is. In Nigeria, since 2015, we've had a whole lot of companies who have packed out of Nigeria. But we still have those who are coming in. We have those who are adapting to the situation, those who are resilient. So we must learn to be resilient, learn to be adaptable, design our frameworks, design our systems to be resilient, to be adaptable. Then we have the critical thinking, decision making, devising strategic plans to expand sales, SWOT analysis, scenario planning, project management, sales forecasting, teamwork, attention management, tracking industry trends, and marketing. Attention management. Remember what I talked about in persuasion, that you got the person to test your product now does not mean you will not leave the person and say he has tested, he will come back another day. No, you must pay critical attention to now building relationship with the person and then managing that attention that the person gave to you first to test your product. Managing it strategically to lead to better return on investment. Then you have the ICT skills, the computer skills, and all of that. Almost every business today can be 100% digitized. So find a way of digitizing your business. Find a way of digitizing your business, especially those of us that are startup. Find a way of digitizing your business. It will reduce cost. Okay, it will reduce cost. It will promote effectiveness and efficiency in the things you do. It will build your company's brand. It will position you as a tech expert in the things you do. Okay, in IIPM, we were among the first training and development firms to introduce the concept of use of ICT. Before the introduction of Zoom, we were already using other approaches to deliver our classes online. Though it wasn't that most people did not welcome the idea, but we know that there was going to be a whole lot of massive disruption in the market one day, that people will now prefer to study online than to go to the classroom. And then when COVID-19 came, that was the best opportunity we've ever had. While other training firms were struggling to find a way out, it was very easy for us to transit. Okay, so technical skills or ICT skills, to be specific, we need to maximize them. We need to maximize them. In fact, the digital economy has brought a whole lot of opportunities. Okay, So things like the customer relationship management software, skills in that area, Microsoft Office suite, build yourself in them also. Online meeting tools, we are used to Zoom and Teams, but there are several other online meeting tools. In fact, almost all social media platforms now, you can use them as online meeting tools. You have Google Meet, you have the Facebook where you can meet people on WhatsApp. You can the video conferencing or the teleconferencing on WhatsApp. So virtually all of them provides the avenue now for online meetings, and there are 1,000 more others that I bet you don't know about. Some of them are completely free. We still talk about Duo from Google, the Duo app from Google. In LinkedIn, we'll have the one on LinkedIn. In Twitter, we'll have the one on Twitter. On Instagram, we'll have the one on Instagram. So virtually all the social media platforms, they have now online meeting platforms. Okay. And then B324, you have it there also. Things like what do you call that again? Some of the online tools anyway. So find them and find the one that you can use. Then email management. Some of us still think emails doesn't work. Like, why would you be wasting your time sending email? Go and be sending letter. In digital research, digital communication research, the most potent channel for customer acquisition and maintenance is email. When we go to business automation, we'll take time to talk about how is this email thing working. Okay, how is this email thing working? Okay, someone once asked us, he said, how come that if you want to have a meeting today and you just announce it, people will come? It's not that we just announce it, people will come. We have a database. In IPM, we have close to 30,000 people that we have met through online engagement and all of that. We didn't buy them. We didn't buy those emails. We worked and we built those emails. There are people in this class that this is their first time of attending IPM programs. And After they are done, they will not log out. Even if you log out, you will still be receiving emails from us. So one day there is another one that will concern you, will come back. Okay. There is a research that states that every day, almost people check their emails like 3 times every day. Every day, people that have access to smartphones, over 87% of them check their emails like 3 times every day. On average, 3 times. And then you know that on your email, you receive hundreds of emails every day. The question is, which one will you pay attention to? The most prominent email you pay attention to is to the one that you already know. So if IPM sends you a message now, you want to know what they are talking about because we advertise and you bought into it. So if we send you something else tomorrow, you want to. But for the people that just bought emails and they are sending you, you wonder who are these ones? By the time you know it, you click on spamming and the person will be blocked. So we need to be very much articulate on email management, very much articulate on email management, and don't throw it away. Okay. Okay, so someone is saying he checks his more than 10 times per day. Checks his more than 10 times per day. So that's to tell you the potency of email. And every organization has integrated email management in their whole circle. Every digitally renowned organization today, they have included email management, custom emails, emails as a way of communicating within the organization. There are some organizations that if you send an email to them and the email is not routed from their domain, they will not allow you to get there. Your email will just bounce back. Another thing is marketing software automation. We have things like Salesforce and several others. You have Sendinblue, you have SendPulse, several others, and some of them gives you opportunity to even try until you're tired of trying for free. Okay, so let's give them a try. They have search engine research also for those of us that do digital marketing. No, apart from digital, whether you're doing digital marketing or not, you need to find out what the people need. Okay, you need to find out. Go and search on your product today. Find out for maybe you are into production of detergent, for instance. Go to the internet, ask the question, what do people expect to have in detergents today? You'll be so shocked. Go to Quora, you will get people giving you feedback, and then from there, you can develop a better product. Then also, better manage your mobile devices. Remember I said yesterday, we have in mobile devices that what we call Google Assistant, and some other is an artificial intelligence robot. Some other mobile devices that do not use Google Assistant, they have their own AI tool there they are using also to gather information from you. Another thing is, let me say this critically, let your mobile device not just be for answering calls and sending calls. WhatsApp marketing is real. WhatsApp marketing is real. WhatsApp marketing is real. These are part of the things we'll be dealing with in the advanced stages, because the associate level basically gives us general information. The advanced stages gives us hands-on on how to do these things. Okay, how to do these things. If you have a WhatsApp group that you have 200 people inside it, and the 200 people, out of 200 people, 10 people bought from you, you have made good recovery on your return on investment. And then the remaining 190 people, you have opportunity of marketing and remarketing to them. Okay, so if they don't buy today, they will buy tomorrow. So make good use of your mobile devices. There are several apps today that we can use on our mobile devices to better enhance our businesses. Let us stop buying phones because they are expensive. Let's buy phones because they have the requisite value that we can use to advance our business. Some people have iPhones, but they don't make any single dime from that iPhone. That is a bad investment. They just want, okay, some people buy iPhone just for reputation purpose. Well, if you have the value commensurate to your reputation, we say you did well. But if you have an iPhone, You're a big boy. You should be. iPhone is a great investment. Huh? iPhone is a great investment. So if you have an iPhone and there's no return on investment on it, there's a challenge somewhere. Then another thing also is accounting software for your bookkeeping, for your invoices and all of that. You can use things like the Zoho Invoice, Accountable, Keeper. Several of them you can use. Try them, see how they work. You don't need a BSc or a HND or a degree in accounting before you know how these things work. Just find them and then make good use of them. Okay. Whew. If you're still with me in this class, please kindly type 99 in the chat room. If you're still with me in this class, please kindly type 99 in the chat room. If you're still with me, please kindly type 99 in the chat room. Okay. So thank you for being with me. Now, the next one we'll talk about is the project management skills. Remember, as part of the scope of business development, we have business development in project management, of which the the business developer must know how to project manage his or her initiatives to drive sales, to drive marketing, to drive partnerships, to drive expansions and all of that. For any time you want to drive sales, project must be involved. For any time you want to drive marketing, project must be involved. For any time you want to engage in expansion or growth or development, project must be involved. So a business developer needs to have key skills in project management. And part of those key skills will involve things like creative thinking, planning, scoping, scheduling, management and evaluation, Six Sigma. The Six Sigma deals more with quality management, then budgeting and risk assessment. These are just some of the skills business developers need to have as regards to project management. Another thing we spoke about is business intelligence. Business developers need to be deliberate on building their business intelligence skills. Part of the business intelligence skills, as we mentioned, you have the data analytics. Please note there is a difference between data analysis and data analytics. Data analysis and data analytics. Data analytics is using information, using data, using analyzed data to make predictions, to make forecastings, to take strategic decisions. That's data analytics. Data analytics can analyze data over a period of time and then use that to create trends. All right, create trends. And when we talk about data analytics, under it you have things like big data. You've heard of the concept of big data, volume-based data. Okay, volume-based data. So when we talk about data analytics, it's not just to have maybe 1,000, 2,000 data. You think you have too much. Okay, so that is one. Problem solving, specific industry knowledge, still more on business skills, data analysis. We'll now talk about data analysis, visualization and interpretation. So you don't just stop at analysis. You go to visualization. Let us understand what this data is on visuals. You could use pie charts, bar charts, histogram, tables, graphs, anyone that best suits the visualization, please, you can. And then interpretation. Then we'll have advanced vision and attention to detail, and then programming skills. When Microsoft newly came out, it was like something new that some of our parents to date don't know how to use Microsoft tool. Of course, our grandfathers have gone. They didn't know how to use the word processing tools. But do you know what? A greater population of our own generation today knows how to use Microsoft Word because it has become an invention, or will I say an introduction that is a must in our day-to-day work. Why am I saying this? You see, programming skills, whether you want to learn it now or not, one day you will find out that it has become a sine qua non in your own daily operations. One day it will just become obvious to you that you needed to learn maybe Python programming, the R programming. You need to learn about machine languages, or machine programming and all of that. And those things are not really as difficult as we think they are. You will now sit down and be the one developing your website. Just the way it is now conversant, we are conversant and confident with typing on Microsoft Word. One day you find that you are now conversant and convenient with developing a website at ease. So gradually, we need to pay attention to building, learning and building these things ourselves. You can't talk about data analytics today without talking about programming, especially the R programming, the Python programming, the machine learning, and all of that. And like I said, they are not as difficult as we think. So let us not allow their names to discourage us. Okay, and thanks to all the IT people that are consistently improving on ways for us to learn these languages. Okay, learn these programming skills. All right. Okay, so let's take a 2-minute pause. While we are taking the pause, please, if you've not joined us on any of these platforms, please kindly join us on YouTube. Feel free to join us. Kindly follow the link I'm going to be posting now and click on subscribe. If you've not followed us on Facebook, please do the same thing. Click on like our page. If you've not followed us on Instagram, please do the same thing. So I'm posting the links now. While I'm posting the link, I will be handing over to okay, let's just take 2 minutes break. When we come back, we'll take the announcement. But while you are taking your break, please ensure to like our pages, follow us where need to be followed. So I'm mentioning YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. All of the channels IIPM International, except for Twitter, there is IIPM Nigeria. Okay, please feel free. If you followed us on YouTube before, please follow us on Facebook. If you followed us on YouTube and Facebook, then follow us on Instagram. In the next 2 minutes, we'll be back. Thank you. Please don't go anywhere.
Thank you very much. Please don't go anywhere means you can go to these different platforms, but make sure you remain in the class. So we are so happy for the network we are having. I have seen just 1 or 2 persons who have had network interruptions, but for all of us, we are locked into the class. Please, while you're following us, make sure you're stretching. While you're visiting our different pages, make sure you're stretching and make sure you're having a very open mind as we resume or reconvene in less than 1 minute. Once you're back, you can just type done so that we continue. We're about to dive straight into the announcement. We're about to dive straight. Okay, I've seen one person. This one, it's a private chat, done. Okay, from Mary, done. Okay, I'm saying done, done. I know those who are following us already. The break is almost over. Mr. Caleb, you're welcome today. Keziah Amuga, welcome. Yesterday was really tough for you. The network was throwing you out and in. Blessing Adeoye, you are welcome. Dixon Somua, I want to attempt not murdering names, so let me go straight. Dr. Alex, welcome, sir. Fatoye, Gabriel Okafor, and others. I'll still get to see other names in a while. All right, thank you very much. And welcome back from the very short break. Please be reminded that the course will continue tomorrow, also Saturday. The time will be shared shortly. Also note that the expected certification upon completion of this very level, interested participants, those who want to proceed for the certification level, will be issued certificates and they will become certified associate business development consultants. But note also that there is a second level to this, and the second level will go into it next week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And that is the highest level of the business development consultant program. And those who will be proceeding for that senior level, or the lead level as we call it, will be also certified as, or will be receiving certification as certified lead business development consultants. So please note. All right, so mode of certifications. Certificates will be issued to those who complete their payment. 100% attendance for this program. That's why I am so happy that almost all of us are locked in and the network is cooperating with us today. 100% attendance for this program is a conditio sine qua non for the certification. Please note, we emphasize that. How to get the certificates. Upon completion, soft copies of the certificates will be sent to your emails. We have your emails, and we hope that you registered with the correct email addresses. While the hard copies will take a maximum of 28 working days. For certificate of participation or completion, we can just do that in a day or two, but please note, this is a professional certification, like we've been emphasizing, and that's why it is taking at least maximum 28 working days, but we can process that. We hope when it gets out, we can supply you or provide you the certificate. For those within Abuja, dispatch of the certificate is free for anywhere within Abuja, Nigeria. Or you can come over to the office and pick the hard copy. For those outside Abuja, you will pay for the dispatch and certificates will be brought to your destination. The terms and conditions. Note also access to this training, like I have said, free, 100% free for this level. So we have not written to you and said, come in, pay 75,000 or 100,000 for the associate level of this training. You will always notice the indication there, 100% free. We love building capacities and we are really interested that capacities will be built, which is one of our mottos here. To access the level 2 training, participants will be requested to pay a minimum of 10,000 naira or $25. This is 10,000 naira for a professional training. So I don't need to re-emphasize that. Materials and certificate fees. For this level, certified associate business development consultants, IIPM members, and that's why I will advise you, I encourage you now, and I will still reiterate later today, that you try to subscribe to any of the cadres of membership of the Institute. So for IIPM members, for this level, you are to pay for certification, not for the training, 50,000 naira, or its equivalent, $130. Non-members, 65,000 naira, or its equivalent of $465. For the next level, which will be going into next week, certified lead business development consultants, for IIPM members, 75,000 naira or $190. Non-members, 85,000 naira or $215. Please, once you pay for certification, be aware that it will include the training materials, whatever materials we are using for training here, that will be availed to you. The templates and certifications will be made available to those who will proceed for the certification. Whoever is proceeding for the lead level, that's the senior level, I don't need to say this because all of us are present here, but whoever is proceeding for the senior level, we do hope that you will present an evidence or means of verification of having completed the associate level, this level we are going through, as that is a condition for proceeding to the lead level. So we don't need to have participants going for the lead level without having any verifiable or backup documents that they have first undertook the first level, which we are going through now. And this document we are talking about is maybe your certification, not maybe the certification and the attendance, we have that. More information will be shared as we proceed. You are highly welcome, and we hope that you do enjoy the remaining part of the training. Please enjoy the training and continue being very active and consciously participating in the course of the training. So do note, I can see somebody's hand up at Deyemi Caleb. I don't know if it's a question or contribution. Okay, you can unmute and ask the question or make that contribution. Let's hear you. Okay, Mr. Yemi, you can send that in the chat room. I'll hand you over to Dr. Banito to continue the remaining part of the training. Thank you very much, and do enjoy your ride.
All right, well, welcome back to class. I trust you enjoyed your break. In case you have not followed us on our social platforms, remember for YouTube, you're encouraged to join us there, to subscribe, so that in case you missed any lecture, you can just go there and get the lecture. And then the same thing applies to Facebook and Instagram. So let's proceed. Let's quickly look at the subject of opportunity development. Opportunity development. Businesses come up from opportunities, or business ideas come up from well-screened business opportunities. So how do we develop opportunity to business. Saying business developer is almost as saying an opportunity developer. So let's look at look at this and then see what our role is in the opportunity development, turning opportunities to businesses. By the end of this section, participants will be able to define concepts in this section, explain the processes in opportunity development, and describe their roles in opportunity development. I'm seeing a hand up. Okay, Mr. Keller, your hand is up. Do you want to say something? I'll give you 30 seconds. Mr. Keller, you have 30 seconds.
Actually, when Mr. Austin called me, he did not allow me to unmute, and that's why I observed that the link that was posted, I don't know if every other person observed, took me to Inner Peace instead of IIPM. Maybe you should check. IPMI instead of IIPM. I just noticed the link that was sent, and it's taking us to a different page. Maybe you should check.
Okay.
I see I'm seeing a link. Anyway, it took me to one page, Inner Peace Movement, IPMI International, Inner Peace Movement International. The same thing happened. So I was like, am I opening? I clicked on it again. It took me, open another browser and took me to, especially the Facebook one.
I'm just noticing that now.
Please check.
Facebook and Instagram were not correct. It's IIPM International. Please, it's not Inner Peace Movement. All right, thank you so much, sir. So I'm reposting that. I noticed that I posted IPM instead of IIPM. Thank you so much. So in case it takes you to anywhere that is not IIPM, please withdraw. We are not Inner Peace Movement. Okay, so I'm reposting the link. It's IIPM International, please. Thank you so much, Honorable Keller, for that. So back to class, looking at opportunity development. By introduction, an opportunity is a chance. An opportunity is a chance to take advantage of a situation. In literal meaning, that's what opportunity means. Now, a business opportunity is a packaged business investment that allows the buyer to begin the business. By buyer here, we don't necessarily need someone with money, but the buyer could be the partner who agrees. It could be an equity investor or whoever that is interested in the concept, in the idea. It is what makes some businesses fail while others succeed. So your business opportunity or the opportunity you've identified, if not well managed, can make a business fail or make a business succeed. In definition of terms, opportunity development is a process in which an initial rough idea for a new venture is continuously modified, refined, and developed into an opportunity. A business opportunity is the chance to take advantage of an occurrence in the market for business gain. Business opportunity identification is the collection of three main factors, which are the entrepreneur's background, the business influence, and the general business environment. The collection of all of this, using it to identify if an opportunity exists or not. What are the characteristics of a good business opportunities? Please, I will need you to follow me on this area. Number one, every business opportunity, viable business opportunity, must be very clear, unambiguous. It must be very, very clear. Most often when we go for investment pitch, we find out that the reason why investors find it difficult to invest in our businesses is because the concept we are presenting is not that clear. So you must make sure that your business opportunity is so clear that anybody that you pitch it to will easily understand what you're saying. Very, very important. Number two, relevance. Every good business opportunity must be relevant. It must be relevant to the need identified. 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 The next one is feasibility. By feasibility here, we mean having conducted all preliminary assignments, having conducted all preliminary studies, you're able to justify that this business can function. So feasibility is providing proof that yes, you have information of this business viability. Okay, so feasibility provides us avenue for justification of whether to go into the business or not. Any business opportunity must also be profitable. And by profitable, we don't mean instant. There is what we call break-even point. When you conduct a break-even analysis, a break-even point is when your investment is equal to your revenue. When the revenue your business generates is equal to the investment you made into that business. We call it break-even point. Now, that break-even, from the break-even point, any other thing that you do becomes your profit. Remember or note that break-even point is not the same for all businesses. There are several things they've taught us that is even limiting our understanding of certain things. I remember those days in school, they were teaching us entrepreneurship. And the lecturer said to us that any business that the break-even point is more than 21 days, that business is not viable. And we took it hook, line, worm, and sinker, that for your business to be viable, it must prove 21 days profitability. It must have 21 days. But as we proceed in life, as we kept on learning, we found out that business profitability varies. The profitability index for a bakery is not the same profitability index for a mining company. It's not the same profitability index for a cassava processing firm. It's not the same profitability index for a brewing company. It's not the same profitability index for oil and gas. Neither is it the same for real estate. So you need to know what your break-even index is, and if you're comfortable with it, the break-even point is just asking a question. How long are you willing to stay before you make a profit? How long are you willing to stay? That you have not broken even does not mean that revenue is not coming. Please, I need you to get that. What it simply means is that you've not been able to gather all you invested. So reinvestment might not come instantly, right? So in doing profitability analysis or checking for profitability, please be mindful of what you know before, and let it not be that it will not deter you from starting. Okay, there are some people listening to me now that there are some opportunities you find yourself into. In the next 7 years, you've not broken even. In the next 10 years, you've not broken even. In fact, some people listening to me now, in the next 15 years, that business has not broken even. You're just collecting some allowances to help you put soul and body together, make sure that the business is running. But to now say you have broken even and you're now beginning to talk about profit sharing and dividend sharing, you will not. You will not. I'm saying it loud and clear now. Okay, so that you will not just go and use those things, all those copy and paste that some of our lecturers did in school then. Some of the lecturers that taught those things, they were never business developers, have never been a business developer, and will never be a business developer because they don't have interest in that area. So they just copied something from an internet, unverified information, put it on paper, and asked us to go and photocopy as handout. And we photocopied, we read because we can understand English, we read and we understood it. No, we read, we got it, but we did not understand it. Because up to date, 99.9% of the people that went to school to study entrepreneurship don't even understand what entrepreneurship is all about. So we need to be very, very careful on profitability. So don't say, I did not tell you. Okay, don't say, I did not tell you. Okay, all right. Okay, another thing we'll also talk about is scalability. This is another area too that we have been taught so many jobs. we've been taught so many things limiting us. I will combine these two things, profitability and scalability. Scalability simply means does the business have the opportunity to grow? Does it have growth potential? The industry where it is, does the industry have growth potential? The customer base, does the customer base have growth potential? Do you have diversification potential? These are some of the questions we'll ask on scalability. How possible is it that this can grow? We can grow beyond our limits, all right? That's the question scalability is asking. Now, I will return back to profitability. If you're listening to me and you're a startup entrepreneur, please listen. You must make up your mind. You must make up your mind. Listen now, listen now, listen now. You must make up your mind to give that business idea at least 7 years before you say you're quitting. At least 7 years. At least 7 years. I did not say 7 days. I did not say 7 months. I did not say 7 weeks. At least 7 years. And if you want to follow the rugged approach, then you must be ready to give the business opportunity at least 15 years before you say it's not profitable. As you're working on it, scalability might come in form of disruption. Listen to me. You might be profitable in some measure, but not be scalable, right? Some businesses get instantly profitable, but by the time you know it, the industry is either closed or the business is closed. So scalable, but not sustainable, right? Not the scalability is not sustainable, therefore the profitability is not sustainable. But there is a business idea, someone listening to me now, a company listening to me now, that idea, if it comes, it will bring disruption. But the disruption will not happen instantly until there are some economic policy rearrangements that will now position you as a market leader in that innovation, in that improvement you're bringing to the market. Somebody looks at you and tells you you are not doing anything right. You're not doing it right. You're not maximizing your time and all of that. There is somebody listening to me now. You might be there might have been one book you've been writing for a while. You've written and written and written and written. It seems as though you're just writing mistakes. Okay. One day, you just find out that book, due to some revolutions, have now become the in thing, and people will be looking for it. So please, before we start saying we are giving up, this idea is not working, this product is not working, first of all, find out the future value of that product. Determine the future value of every opportunity before launching into it. Determine the future value. How long will this product take before it will give us some result? How long will this product take to affect the market, to dominate the market? While you're doing scalability, do scalability also. Do what we call competitor analysis. How long do you think your competitors can stay in that industry, can stay in that market? That will determine whether you will quit or not. But for now, make sure that you have good understanding of your profitability analysis and decide for yourself how long you're willing to stay before making profit. For me, when I became an entrepreneur, I removed that limit. I removed profitability limit. I removed it completely. If I did not break even today, I will break even Sunday. That was just my own. Okay. And me becoming an entrepreneur wasn't because I wanted to be rich. No, I wanted to solve a problem. And as far as that problem exists, I'm not going anywhere. Okay. My own is to find strategic approaches to make sure that I generate enough revenue, enough resources that can help me break beyond the limit. Okay, that others set anyway. But you see, anything limit, why is economically good for you to know, okay, in the next 3 years we'll break even, we'll have a return on investment. It's also good that you tell yourself, if after 3 years we did not meet it up, we're ready to continue. That's where I'm trying to go. All right. Okay, thank you. I would like to know if there's any question for me in this area, please you can ask me. If you have a business idea you're struggling with and you want to quit, you can ask me questions about that, and then we can consider that all together, right? Okay. The next thing we'll look at is types of business opportunities. You have business opportunities for new market opportunities. There are opportunities or markets that have not been tested, that have not been stepped into. Yesterday, I spoke about the red ocean. There's also what we call the blue ocean. Okay, blue ocean. So new market opportunities, new markets are most often regarded to as blue oceans. And you need to find out how to delve and maximize the benefit of blue ocean. So in level 2, we'll also look at blue oceans and how to identify blue oceans, how to make the most of blue oceans. And then you talk about the untapped resource opportunities. Several industries today have several resources that are not tapped. So when you discover those untapped resources, it could become opportunity for you. Several of us still run away from government, the government fair, because we think you need to know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody before you could get. No, there are several opportunities that government have, and they have the resources. If you're able to help them identify those untapped resources, they are willing to give you those resources to go and use them. In agriculture, we have them. In education, we have them. In power, we have them. And every other sector of the economy will have money. You hear CBN tell you they have 200 billion naira that was reserved for agriculture and nobody had access to them. That's an untapped resource. The question is, do you have the business plan that can take a part of that 200 billion? You will hear things in maybe NITSDA, they will tell you so agency or so their partner with so body to create 1,000 IT entrepreneurs. The question is, they have the resource. Have you seen the opportunity, or have you seen, or do you have the opportunity that can tap into the resources they have? So we need to find all of this. Then we have the repressed demand opportunity, where a situation where the current supply cannot meet the demand of the customers. That's already a gap, and you can launch into it. Then you have the technology opportunity. Yes, a whole lot of disruption driven by technology has created opportunities for us. So massive disruptions IT-wise has brought massive opportunities. I was saying something the other day. I said people like Facebook, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, yes, Instagram, or let's say social media altogether joined, they have more employment than all the governments of the world joined together. You may or may not agree with me, but I'm telling you the honest fact. All the social media technology has provided more jobs than the whole government of the world joined together. The internet, as it were, has provided more jobs than anyone could ever imagine. So the internet is now a land of opportunity. You don't need any form of legal restrictions, legal formalization, or what have you. You don't need a legal paper to go and own a YouTube channel. And if you're good with what you do, you will start earning in good volumes of dollars. Now, somebody should not come and ask me, how do you do that? You go and find out. Some of these guys that you see them doing jokes on social media, they get paid heavily by those social media platforms, because there is, on every social media platform, there is what they call content development partnership program. So if you help them in developing quality content that drives traffic to their website, they pay you a part of the money they get through adverts on those programs or those information you created for them, whether it is audio, literal, video, or what have you. Okay, someone once told me that they told him that at the internet you make money, just on a website. People just visit your website and Google pays you. Well, I've not been able to find out the true reality of that. Google need to advertise on your website, and people need to click on the adverts that Google is placing on your website before Google will pay you. Okay, thank you for coming. Then another one is competitive opportunities. If you think you have innovative ways of introducing solutions that can break the competition in the market, why not? That becomes an opportunity. They have strategic partnership opportunities. You don't need to go to UK to have your business presence in UK. You do that through alliances. You don't need to be in every part of Africa before you have your business in every part of Africa. Okay, you just need to do what we call strategic alliances. It could be through technology, it could be through individual businesses in those locations you're interested in creating presence, and then you partner with them. Okay, thank you. Now, what are the business opportunity development processes? Number one, you have what we call environmental scanning. Environmental scanning. Check your environment to find the need that exists. Okay, check the environment and find the need that exists. If there is any place, any continent that has the highest need in the world, is Africa. Well, I may not have been to other parts of Africa, but if there is a country that provides more opportunities than you can ever imagine, is Nigeria. Is Nigeria. Nigeria is a land of opportunities. However, we have so many blind people in Nigeria, several blind people in Nigeria, and our blind nature is induced. We have blindness by induction. Blindness by induction. And I will give you an example of what I mean. We have systems in Nigeria that make us typically blind. And the most profound system of such is the educational system in Nigeria. Educational system in Nigeria makes you dead on arrival. That's if you went there to read, cram, and pop. If you went there just because your father or your mother said so, you went there because you think it is part of the solution to the world or to the problems. You just go there and come out. Something that was created to create opportunities is now something that became the creator of problem in Africa. When we say we have 33% unemployment rate, we are only saying we have 33% of educated people that are unemployed. We have about 95.1 million people that are not employed in Nigeria. 95.1 million people. 95.1 million. That is what World Bank says. 95.1 million. And those people, we were sent to school to go and produce solutions. We went to school and became the problem. So one of the places or one of the systems that have blinded Africans typically is the educational system. And until we revamp it, we'll soon remain in that era of every year turning out problems, turning out risks into the society. Another system that is causing natural blindness, imaginative blindness to Africans is religion. Religion has caused more harm than good when it comes to imagination. Okay, so we need to be careful about these things. However, I'm talking about environmental scanning, and it needs someone who has an open inner mind to be able to see opportunities. Some of us now, the only opportunity we are thinking of is job. Am I saying that job is not good? No, job is good. But the problem is even the job we are going to get. Some people, I was listening to the former president the other day, President Olusegun Obasanjo. He said he retired from the army, and then he discovered that he was unemployed and unemployable. He was both unemployed and unemployable. That's the former president of Nigeria, President Olusegun Obasanjo. And they said he had to go and start learning skills. And the skill he was bent on learning was farming. And today, Obasanjo is one of the most prominent farmers in Nigeria. No matter what you know, if there is no skill, you will still have a way of struggling. You still have a way of struggling. The easiest way to promote poverty is to have continuous absence of skills. The easiest way to alleviate poverty is to introduce skills, relevant skills that can make this change. Somebody is busy doing poultry. He has finished school, he's doing poultry, but he's telling you no job. Because in that poultry he's not even seeing it as an opportunity. He's seeing it as let us patch time until work comes. I was listening to Dr. Iwa Mustela, the woman that went into farming. She was in US, and then she came to Nigeria and she started doing so much on agriculture that she had become agriculture activist now, skill acquisition in agriculture activist. Now this woman has done so well for herself. I was listening to her on AIT the other day. No, not AIT, NTA. And she said in her company, the company is broken into departments. They have administrative department, and then they have the farming department. People that go to farm, operations people. He said most times people will come to her and say, please, ma'am, we don't have job. We would like to work in your organization. And what they typically mean is that we want to work in admin. Okay. Now she will tell them that, oh, at the moment we don't have any office-based role, but we have opportunities in the farm. Would you want to go to the farm? And some of them will tell her, no, we prefer to be in the office. Now she said she created, just to prove her point, that most people don't want to go to agriculture. Now she said she developed an internship program, and the internship program is voluntary. So if you come and you want to be an intern, if you want to stay in the office, no salary for you, no allowance for you. If you want to go to the farm, they pay you. And she said, up till the time she was talking on air, she still have more people coming to be eaten in the office rather than go to the farm. Okay, rather than go to the farm. This morning, as I was coming to work, I was listening to AIT. I was listening to what they call it, network news. I love listening to network news when I'm coming to work. Now, there is this project that Ministry of Agriculture is introducing. They call it NAPT or so, National Agricultural Policy on Innovation and Technology and Innovation, something like that. And they are now looking for ways to get the young people into innovative agriculture. So, like someone said, we think agriculture is dirty. Agriculture is dirty, yet you must eat. Why would we consider the food as like we don't need to eat? Let's go and be pressing computer all day, all night. Let's go and be gaming all day, all night. Please, we that are in business development, we have a great role to play in modifying the business system completely. Because if you're in agriculture listening to me, you have a role to play in turning those things. Okay, in turning those things. Some of us now don't want to go into education, like teaching, because they will tell you teachers, their reward is in heaven. Okay, but you have something you can deliver that will bring transformation. You say, no, I don't think this area is for me because I don't want to go to a place where my reward will be in heaven. You can create your own reward here. Okay, we can all do it better. Okay, we can all do it better. So the first thing in opportunity identification process is environmental scanning. We have food shortage. In fact, critical concern in Nigeria now. We are talking about insecurity, but let me tell you the honest truth. Insecurity has resulted to global food crisis. Global food crisis. Global food crisis. So if we are not careful, one day we'll have the money, but we'll not have the food to buy. If we are not careful, we will have the money, but we will not have the food to buy. We will have the money, but we will not have the food to buy. So we need to be what? We need to be much more proactive. Okay, we need to be much more proactive. So environmental scanning helps us to know what the problem that exists in the environment, list all of them, and then we go to screening them. By screening them, we want to find out the one that has the most pressing need, and then we go to concept initiation. Concept initiation simply means you develop the pre-information about the product, or develop a pre-information about the idea, all right? So in 1 or 2 sentences, what is this idea about? And then you go to information gathering. You have gathered different ideas. you've screened them, you've developed some hypotheses on these ideas. Then you need to do information gathering. And part of the information gathering is the feasibility study. All right, the feasibility study to prove for yourself which of those which of those ideas you're coming up with will be the most appropriate and the most viable. Then from there, you go to information evaluation, under which you do need assessment. Do customers really need it? This need, does it really exist? Customer assessment, will customers buy? Do customers consider this as a primary need, secondary need, tertiary need, or a non-need at all? Then you talk about scalability also. Does it have possibility of growing? Do we have the possibility of growing the customer base? Then you also have market assessment. Looking at the market assessment, does the market have growth potential? Does the market have diversification potential? Is the market profitable? All of these are things you look at. Then you look at the industry and competitive analysis also. The same question, the industry, is it scalable? The competitors, can I outsmart them? And all of that. Capacity assessment, do I have what it takes to take on this opportunity? Capacity in the form of knowledge, skills, competencies, technologically, team-wise, legally, politically, do I have all it takes to take on that opportunity? If I don't, what then do I do? Then you may need to also engage in consultations, asking questions from those who have gone ahead of you to provide more justification or to guide you on how to go about it. Then we'll have the opportunity justification. After you've done all of this, you should be able to justify which of the opportunities you will definitely go into. That you have 3 ideas does not mean that you will flaunt the 3 ideas at the same time. The one primary question you want to ask yourself is, out of the ideas I have, which one that if I start it now will help me to start the other ones? Which one will have the highest positive impact on revenue generation, on market growth, on customer acquisition, and all of that? That's all you want to find out. Out of the ideas you have, which one among them that if you start it now, it will give you the highest growth potential, it will give you highest impact potential, it will give you highest commission potential, it will give you highest customer base potential, and then help you to grow faster, generate revenue, to invest in others. I have the conviction that somebody listening to me, one day, when you put all of these things together, one day you'll be said to be the group managing director, the group chairman of your own company group, because by the time you know it, you would have had your first company. With all the stress, you developed your second company, you have your third company, and they are all working on different things like Dangote is today. And one day, you say the group chairman of so group of companies. All right. So it's just a little process, or just a process of timing. So we keep on being consistent. Okay, we keep on being consistent. All right. Okay. Now I'm rounding up gradually. So if there's any area you have a question, please feel free to ask me. Now, while doing opportunity analysis or before going into the development of the opportunity full time, you must carry out your feasibility study to be sure if that opportunity that you screened and now you say, this is my opportunity, you screen it further by conducting a feasibility study to justify if yes, it is worth it or not. So what then is feasibility study? A feasibility study is an assessment of the practicality of a proposed business plan or project. Feasibility study analyzes the viability of a business plan or project to determine whether it is likely to succeed. The study is also designed to identify potential issues and problems that could arise while pursuing a project. Why do we conduct feasibility? Number one, it helps the company to be focused. It helps the company to know its risk factors in the business and then decide whether they want to go into it or not. It helps the company to know the areas of growth and how to grow. It also helps them to make investment decisions. It helps them to seek out for partners, directors and investors and all of that. It also helps them to balance out the resources they have, human resources and non-human resources. Okay. It helps them to further improve on their business planning. All right, these are some of the reasons why we need a feasibility study. Now, aspects of feasibility, when doing feasibility, we need to do what we call the technical feasibility, talking about the capacity to perform, the methodologies, the procedures, the standard. Your team, do they have the technical capacity to deliver? Do you have quality team to deliver? Then you talk about economic feasibility. Do you have a market? Do you have a hungry market that will buy? The profitability, is the market profitable? Okay. By impact, what is the impact of the business to the economy? You need to look at all of this. Also, while you're looking at all of this on the positive side, you're also looking at it on the risk side. Then the legal feasibility, do you have the legal framework to venture into that opportunity? Are you registered? Does the opportunity require you to register with the necessary company registrars in your country? Okay, the standards, regulatory standards, compliance standards, you look at all of those things. Then technological feasibility, machines that are needed, do you have them? The communication technology needed, do you have them? Okay. Still boiling down to capacity assessment. Do you have the technological know-how, the technological wherewithal to carry out on that opportunity? Some of us have an opportunity that the technological capacity could be the reason why we are not venturing into it. Some people want to go into quarry. Some people want to go into cassava production. Some people want to go into mining. So different things we want to go into. But the technology, the machine needed, and all of that are still a barrier. But you can use strategic alliance to maneuver such things. Then you also talk about operational feasibility. In the operations, are there things within your capacity you can do? Operations involved in establishing that opportunity, are there things you can do? They're looking at market feasibility too. Like I said, the customer base in that market, the industry trend, how scalable is the market, the competitors in the market, how dangerous is the competition, and all of that. You look at all of those things before you now say you are venturing into it. Components of a feasibility report. After you've done your feasibility, the next thing you want to do is to compile your feasibility report. Someone will say, okay, we did not talk about tools for conducting feasibility. One of the tools, or some of the tools for conducting feasibility, you have what we call field screening. Field screening. You'll be the one going to the market to find out for yourself, okay, if the market really exists, customers and ask questions. The next one is questionnaires and surveys, which you can do manually or you do through online, okay? Another way you can use also is reports, economic reports, like what we are saying here now, that agriculture is suffering, education is suffering, is because we are not contributing to it, it's because we are not part of it. We think it's not our business, we have our own business. And that's one of the problems. So if you use economic reports, all right, what is the government talking about? And let me tell you something. Public-private partnership is principally you identifying what government is talking about, and then government will be willing to invest as we invest. Okay, so public reports, national reports, economic reports can provide us opportunities, help us in conducting feasibility. Then another one is research. We can use research to find out. All of this and several other ways, okay, of doing that. So what are the things you now put out in your feasibility report? You have the executive summary that summarizes how you carried out the feasibility study and what you saw, okay, your conclusion of the whole matter. So it's like an abstract. So what was the problem from your market feasibility or from your feasibility study? Do you think the methodology you used and everything you used will be able to solve the problem. You state all those things in your summary. And please note, your summary shouldn't be more than a page. Your summary shouldn't be more than a page. Then from there, you talk about the existing marketplace consideration. What is the market like? Talk about what is existing in the market, and then talk about what you're bringing into the market. What is new? This is what currently is in the market. Then what is new? Talk about what is new, what you're bringing into the market. That will help us in decision making. Talk about the marketing strategy. Talk about how others are doing the marketing, and then talk about what is new you're going to be bringing. Somebody will say this is already business planning. No, you need this report now to design your business plan. Okay? Sometimes it's better to take 3 to 5 competitors in that market, analyze them completely so that you can use the report you have from them to create your own strategies. So marketing strategy, this is how it has been done in the industry, and this is what we are bringing in. Human resources consideration, this is how human resources is, and this is what we are bringing in. How many people do we need, and how do we go about it? Okay. Technological considerations, legal considerations, risk considerations, financing considerations, and findings and recommendations. These are some of the things you put up in your feasibility report. Now, what's the opportunity development process? After you might have done all your feasibility, and then you're able to justify that, yes, this business is worth it. You now go to the development process. The development process is now number one, you have what we call the business case development. The business case development. Business case development is more of the need, the problem that you want to solve. What's the magnitude of the problem and all of that? That's the need, the case development. Then you have to talk about your proposal development. After you might have justified that the need exists and your feasibility justified that the need exists, you want to put up proposals and start writing to people, right? Start talking about that. Then your business plan development, your pitch, your elevator pitch. Your elevator pitch, okay? That is very, very important. Then you have team development. You develop your team for the development of the process. Then you have your company formation for the one that require company. You have your product design and prototype. Let's have a feel of this thing you'll be talking about. Let's have a feel of what it is. If it's a product, let's have the product prototype. If it is a service, let's have the service prototype. They have the market testing. Test this product or test this service in the market. How will people accept it or not? Okay. Sometimes one of the things that decides the cost we take per time is the number of people that comes into it. We test the market. So, for instance, we introduced 2 courses this diet, corporate governance. No, they were quite enough, but we decided to take corporate governance and then business development. We opened application for business development. We had over almost 600 people applying. Corporate governance, we had over 200 people applying. We understand why corporate governance is that way. Okay, so it is easier for us to say, okay, let's do this one or that one. We still have other courses that we introduced that we have 12 persons that applied, 6 persons that applied. And so what that is telling us is this is not the right time for this course now. So you can leave it aside. All right, so you do your market testing. All right, that will tell you which one of the prototypes will definitely give you the best result. Then you have investor involvement. Start talking to investors about them. Then talk about commercialization of the accepted product or accepted service. Then now talk about continuous investment into the product. Okay. Men and brethren, as it were, I'm done with my class for today. And while we take a break, I will recommend again, let's visit the YouTube channels or the social media channels, and please follow us accordingly. If you followed us on YouTube before, follow us on Facebook. If you followed us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. Our class tomorrow will, all those announcements will be passed by the program coordinator. Now, there is an important information I would like to pass across before I log out. Please, The first information is don't log out until you're done with the announcement, the attendance and all of that, right? Please, very, very important. Second announcement is for everyone attending this course, please, we sincerely recommend to you that you work out modalities to get a certificate, all right? And I will tell you why. I don't know if there is anyone here that was in business development class last month or last 2 months. That was in May, last 2 months. This course now that is 65,000, is it 65 and 50,000? The actual cost of this program on associate level is 165,000. I don't think it's a marketing strategy we are giving you now. Last 2 months, we were doing a CSR project and we needed people to buy into the CSR project. So they paid, I think it was 40,000 and 35,000. IPM members paid 35,000, others paid 40,000. And we told them then that this certification cost, this is the actual cost that we brought it down, does not mean we are looking for who to dash certificate. No, we are not selling certificate. Of course, we've put out the terms and conditions for certificate processing. So my recommendation is please take this course seriously and work out how you're going to get your certificate. If you want to pay instrumentally, you're free to go. If you want to pay once, but please note, materials will only be given to those who are making payment for certification. So if you're not going for the certification, you will not have access to the materials. These materials, if you were to buy them alone, you will spend nothing less than $50 to $100, $50 for the associate and $100 for the lead. If you're buying them from our website or you're buying them from our stores, you want to use them, yeah, pay $50 and $100. But we are giving it to everyone for free if you are paying for the certificate, alongside with all of the videos and all of that. And please note, we made a special exemption in this particular badge, last badge and this particular badge. There is no exam for this particular badge, and likewise the last badge. Please note, in case you're unable to meet up with your certification now, and then you join us in another time, please note, examination will be required. Examination will be required and project work will be required. Project and examination will be required. So if you don't want to pass through that stress of going through project and then going through exam, you can do the needful. So on this note, I want to say a very big thank you to us all. And I'm going to take 1 or 2 questions and then I will go and rest. Corporate governance class still goes today for those who are taking the course. So we'll meet by 2 p.m. for corporate governance. But before I log out, any question, any contribution, any concern? All right, Engineer Ahmed, you're welcome. Please, let's hear from you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much, Professor Banicho. It's always been a delight being under your tutelage. It's always a world of difference. And in the run-up to this course, you said something about being recreative in whatever you do as one of the souls of moving business forward. I want to tell you that last month I was in this very particular class, right? You've recreated this course. The content here is different from what we received last month. It's richer, broader, and whatever it is, you've actually spoken to the fact that recreation is truly the heart and soul of business. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. In fact, what you just said now, yesterday, someone said exactly the same thing. He said, sir, this business development, is it the same one we did the last time? I said, yes. He said, but several things have changed. That's part of recreation. Okay, so if you did the course last time and you are here, you will be adding to your knowledge. Thank you so much, Engineer Ahmed. Okay, please, any other question, any quick comment before I log out? Questions, comment, concerns? Okay, so if there is no comment, if there is no question, if there is no concern, please, I'll be passing you over to the program coordinator. You have a wonderful time.
Thank you very much, Dr. Banito. And thank you very much, dear participants, for your rapt attention, your active participation. We are happy to have gotten to this level at this point in time. Without further ado, dear friends, I would immediately dive to, I hope we can see my screen. So I am trying to share my screen so that we go straight to the announcement. All right. IIPM and you, I don't need any to buttress any other points. I'll just go straight to this. The Integrated Institute of Professional Management, the membership, I told you about the categories of membership that you can subscribe to get so many of the benefits out of the subscription you have made. So the Institute's global membership program is, or are in three cadres: the associate membership, the full membership, or the fellow membership. So for the associate membership, to get an associate membership certification, it will cost just a token of 100,000 Naira, or its equivalent of $240. The requirements: degree, HND, or their equivalents, with 4 to 10 years work experience, proofs of 3 recent management workshops attended, or must have attended the Institute's courses at associate level, so to qualify for this level of membership. Where a prospective member does not have the required number of workshops, he or she must attend selected workshops within the Institute. Now, we also advise willingness, or we encourage willingness to commit to continuous professional development. The benefits of subscribing to this level are, but not limited to, the following: a professional associate membership certification, a certified associate management professional, free and discounted conferences, both nationally and internationally, 1 discounted workshop or training with certification, unlimited online workshops, career and business building resource materials, access to coaching and mentoring, commissions and referral bonuses. These are benefits for subscribing to that cadre of membership. Full membership, a token of 120,000 Naira is expected, or its equivalent of $290. The requirements: degree or HND or their equivalents, with 11 to 19 years working experience, 6 recent management workshops attended, or must have attended IIPM courses at senior or lead levels. So if you're going for the other one, the associate level, you must have attended courses at associate levels. But if it is for this full membership, you must have attended IIPM courses at senior or lead levels. Where a prospective member do not have the required number of workshops, he or she shall attend selected workshops within the Institute. Benefits of subscribing to this level are, but not limited to: you'll be earning a senior membership certification, you'll become a certified senior membership professional, you'll gain access to join the international consulting faculty of the Institute, you get access to the e-copies of the compendium of professionals, a professional page on our website resulting to enhanced visibility, access to annual conferences, discounted certificated professional trainings and workshops to both nationally and internationally, unlimited online workshops, access to value-added resources for career and business growth, executive mentorship and coaching, access to senior management meetings and gala nights. And for the highest level of membership, global membership of the Institute, the fellow membership, and the commitment or the payment of 150,000 Naira will be required, or its equivalent of $360. The requirement, degree or HND, or their equivalents with at least 20 solid years working experience, evidence of 7 recent management workshops attended, or must have attended IPM courses at senior or lead levels, where a prospective member do not have or does not have the required number of workshops. He or she shall attend selected workshops within the Institute at lead or senior levels. You must be committed to continuous professional development. You will see the re-emphasis of this continuous professional development. The benefits of subscribing to this level of membership are the fellow membership certification. You'll gain that certification. You'll become a certified executive management professional, CEMP. You gain access to join the international consulting faculty of the Institute. You gain access to the e-copies of the Compendium of Professionals. You gain access to a professional page on our website, resulting to enhanced visibility, pre-publication of research on the Compendium of Professionals. You gain access to annual conferences, access to executive workshops, trainings, also with certifications, unlimited online workshops, executive coaching and mentoring, access to senior management meetings and gala nights. You will also be eligible to be elected into executive positions and the board of the Institute, amongst so many other benefits that is accrued to subscribing to any of this cadre of membership. Now we have displayed our social media handles on the chat room. So displayed also on your page is the social media platforms. So you can go there, visit them, subscribe to any of them. Now, I also want to reiterate, because somebody asked in the chat room, I have also direct messaged the person. I have also sent the person a direct message that I was going to contact her after the training. Please, I want to reiterate, these are the training terms and conditions. As I have announced the different level of memberships and I have advised you to subscribe to any level of the membership, I also want to let us know that subscribing to any level is different from the certificate. This is a course on its own, and the certification for this course is different from subscribing to any level of the membership. I am just telling you the different levels of membership, because sometimes when we announce benefits of members here, some persons prefer that it is made flat for everybody. For certifications on this associate level, let it be 50,000 Naira for everybody. But we have benefits for members and for non-members also. They are on a different level. So the training terms and conditions, access to this level of training, the associate level from yesterday to tomorrow, will be 100% free, or is 100% free. But to access the level 2 training, participants will be requested to pay a minimum commitment of 10,000 Naira or $25. This will enable you gain access to the next level, which will be coming up on Thursday, next week, Friday, and Saturday. Materials and certificate fee. So for those who will be proceeding for certifications, and we strongly advise that we all proceed for certification, having garnered this level of knowledge, so we can also have something to back up the knowledge, documents or evidence to back up the knowledge. For the Certified Associate Business Development Consultant, for IIPM members, you'll be paying a discounted fee of 50,000 Naira. For non-members, you'll be paying a fee of 65,000 Naira. It's also discounted for now, 65,000 Naira for the certificate on this level, the Associate Business Development Consultant. And remember, after the training, after the first level, And after your certification, not just after the training, after going for the certification, members who have proceeded for the certification will automatically become, by that certification, certified associate business development consultants. So you can consult even for consultants, you can consult for business or intending business owners. Now, for those who will be proceeding for the lead level, you become certified lead business development consultant. And the fee for this level for IIPM members for the certification, 75,000 Naira or $190. For non-members, 85,000 Naira or $215. Also note, please, that training materials, templates, and certification will be made available to only those who will proceed for certification. Whoever is proceeding for the next level, the lead level next week, must first provide an evidence or means of verification of having completed this level that we are undergoing now. Having completed it to certification level, or we can look at other means of verification. All right, thank you very much, dear friends. That will be all for now. Congratulations at this stage, and thank you for locking in up to this very point. Join us also